Hey there guys, Bob the Gamer here. Today we are going to be, I'm going to be making a how to tie rig video, and I will be showing multiple rigs. I don't even know if this rig has a name. It's just something I made up. But it's like your drop shot rig. It has two hooks on it, but the way you tie the hooks onto it is much different. And I'll show you an example here. By the way, you're going to want about a foot long leader in between each hook. And the way I measure out a foot long leader is, so this is, whenever I measure out, this is including the length that you need for to tie the hook. I hold the hook or the end of the line right here in my hand, go down to my elbow, pinch off right there, and that's the length that you'll need. So, and just so y'all know, I have you guys in a small tackle box, and this is where I'm keeping everything. So, you get a small snell hook, just like this. Take it in there, and what I do is I wrap it up until it meets the eye of the hook. Have about a 4-inch tag in. Fold over. You guys should know how to tie a simple snell knot. You got one. I'm not going to count the entire time, but I'm going to keep on going until it reaches the eye. Well, that's kind of fast. Too fast, actually. Okay. I'm going to have to restart. I wrapped it too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to do 10, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, by the way, for my line, I'm using Tri-Line Big Game 12-pound. Cheap, easy line to get. It's like $10 for, what is this spool? 1,175 yards. So it's real cheap. It's good for the price. Okay, now you got it tied all the way down. You're going to take it, trim off that tag end. Again, now you've got your tag end cut off, nice and clean. Use a tweezer, not your teeth. Now, I don't mean use your tweezers on your teeth, I mean use a tweezer on the line. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take you some more line, just that 12-pound again. You're going to take it and you're going to stick it backwards through that eye, just like that. Once you got backwards to that eye, you run up, and then you're going to fold up, and make sure you keep your line that has a hook already attached to it, and your line that you're just now putting on it, keep both of those in there, and then fold the line you're just now putting on it, fold that over, and tie your simple fisherman's knot around both lines. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got your 6 loops. Come through here. There we go, nice and taut. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that, grab the hook that's already attached, or the line that's already attached to the hook, and then your line that you just put on there. Tighten it down till you cannot tighten it anymore. Hold on, I'm wrapped up in the fresh line. There you go. Make sure it's nice and taut. You got your tag end on there. Go ahead and trim off that tag end that's sticking through the front side of the eye. And then this tag end is coming out the back. You're going to leave that on there. Leave it for about, let's do about 3/4 of a foot. Yeah, just about 3/4 of a foot. So you keep that tag in as. And now I've got 3 hooks on this. Can't really get that all the way in the frame. You guys probably can't see it either way. I'm just recording on my phone. There you go. You got yourself that little tag in. Then you take it, and depending on what you're fishing with, I normally just go with a common little sinker like this, something that's real cheap and easy to buy at Walmart. Take yourself a fisherman knot onto there, and this I'm pre-rigging, so I'm not going to tie this directly onto my line. I'm just, like I said, pre-rigging. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I have a smaller version of these made, but it's made with the common drop shot knot. And that one is for bluegills, any kind of your panfish or anything. Anything you put, small minnows, night crawlers, anything like that on there. This one you'd use large shiners, small pieces of cut bait, night crawlers, a whole night crawler on each hook. There you go, you got your sinker on there. Now, when I'm pre-rigging, I take that very front tag in, the one you very first started off with. Take that, you tie your fisherman knot onto a swivel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whenever I'm tying a basic fisherman's knot, I just tie up to 6 times, or I loop it 6 times. Also, if you're tying basic fisherman's knot, make sure to have a longer tag in, because it actually makes the hole that's holding on to the hole that's holding on to the swivel or hook or whatever, makes it larger. Ooh, just got a hook in my finger. There we go. There we go. And again, like I said, I think it's like it's not like a 3-rig rig or anything like that, but very simple, easy rig to make. And that snell line on there, as soon as the fish grabs onto that hook, it's gonna run. And this one right here, the specific rig, is actually perfect if you're trying to catch a lot of rock bass at one time. So like, let's say you're in a small creek or something, you know there's rock bass here, you put your piece of night crawler in the middle one, and a live shiner or minnow on the bottom one, or you put night crawler on the top and bottom and put a live shiner in the middle. Depends on where the rock bass are. But this is really good for your rock bass, your walleye, your smallmouth, anything that lives in the river, because with this little sinker, as soon as it gets caught up in a rock, make sure that it's, whenever you cast this, you're casting down from where you're fishing instead of up, because if it gets stuck in a rock up from where you're fishing, you're not going to be able to get out. Cast down, it gets stuck in a rock, then you can pull it, and it'll come right out of those rocks. But yeah, I highly doubt this video will get many views, but if anybody does see this, give me an idea to name this rig. I think it might actually become pretty popular. But anyways, on to the next rig. Okay, y'all, just said screw with the mask that I had on earlier, but this time I'm not showing you how to tie this rig, but I will show you the rig itself. This is a lot like your worm harness, but what you do is you take your old rooster tail, or even a cheap one from like Walmart, something like this one right here. It was made with a cheap Blue Fox I bought from Walmart. You put your plastic worm on there or something like that. This one actually works very well for largemouth. You take this and you just bounce this off the bottom, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, your line's tightened up and you see this thing flicking through the water. I like to fish in clear water whenever I'm using anything shiny. I don't know why. I feel like it catches the fish's eye better. And muddy water if I'm using black. But you see, this is an old this is a Joe's fly. So normally they have a treble hook right here tied on with a piece of fishing line. Well, the treble hook had broken off, and at is it gonna focus? No, maybe. It's not wanting to focus. But you see this little bristle right here? I just tied on a piece of 8-pound big game, Berkley big game. This is a Kirby hook, is what they're called, I believe. People use them for fly tying. I use them for fly tying as well, but with this one, I just took it and tied it on here. And what you do is this, the Joe fly already has the original hook right here. This one's actually, the original hook's in good condition. The treble hook is just cheaply made, I guess. but you take the end of your worm, hook it on there. You take the other end of your worm, hook it on here. So you take this, and the point of this one is you're in heavy current. So you take this and you drop it out there. You have it on something like a 3-way rig where, let's see here. Do I have any? I don't have any triple swivels ready. Here, I'll just show you. You take your triple swivel like this, and you put your sinker onto the bottom. You attach your Joe's Fly right here with about half a foot, maybe even up all the way up to 3-foot leader. And this, with how light this is, the current will actually push this and make that blade swing. This is good for trout, walleye, smallmouth, anything that's willing to eat a nightcrawler or any kind of worm. Alright, on to the next rig. Okay, y'all, this next rig, I like to call it the Ride or Die. Right here, we have about 15 pound, let's see here. This is it 15 or 16 pound? Yeah, it's a Yo-Zuri 16 pound. This is the stuff that I put on my bait casters. And occasionally I use it for my leader line. But I have it all the way up to, this is the rarest line I've ever found. I love it so much. And it was one of my friends, he got me hooked onto this line. It's such an amazing line. But it's called Cajun line. Look how red that is. This is Cajun 17 pound. This one I actually got from my auto body shop because we use the line to cut off the emblems, which is the little logos and whatnot. But my teacher let me take it from there. But you have yourself about, I'd say, a 3-foot leader with the 16 pound Yo-Zuri. Then you go over to your 17 pound Cajun red line. You add on about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. You see how long it is right there. And you add on a hook right here. I call it the Ride or Die because whenever this is cast out, the minnow will flip through the water a little bit, and this red on there, it's just a itty bitty little bit of red will catch any fish's attention. I don't know why. Probably because it looks like blood, but it's just a little bit of red. It's amazing. Even if it's on the line itself, it's still amazing. I actually used to take a red Sharpie. If I had clear line, I'd take a red Sharpie, and I'd take it and I'd rub over the clear line. Even staining it just a little bit red helped out the fishing a whole lot. Really with walleye. That's the big thing about walleye. They're very big on visuals. That's why if you're fishing a river that has walleye in it, don't use a trout pattern unless you know there's a trout creek that runs into it, like mine. But this is a rainbow trout lure, and it doesn't have any rattles. You cannot hear any rattles in it, except for when the hooks shake. So that color is all it's looking for. And that movement, this is called a scatter wrap. That bill, it causes this to swim like this. Alright, anyways, on to the next rig. Okay, y'all, for this rig, I got what I call, you guys know, if you guys ever saltwater fish, you probably know the sabiki rig. I call this the baby blue sabiki. This is for bluegill fishing. If you're really big into catfishing and you want to catch a lot of bait, and you know where there's a lot of bluegill, use this. You see 1, 2, hold on, 3, 4 hooks total. And this winds up to be, ow, 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 sharp hooks. Yard and a half, maybe, long. And this is just for, like, if you have a cane pole or if you have, like, a crappie jigging rod. You know where there's bluegill, you just drop it down in there, put a piece of nitrile on each one. It is very time-consuming to use, and you have to make sure that it does not get tangled up whenever you lay it down. So that's why, this is actually another tip I'm going to show you all in this video. This is a piece of foam from a packaging box. I lay my swivel up on there. I just wrap the line around it. Yes, of course, it does give you line memory, which is where it tangles up like this. But whenever you cast it out there, that sinker right here on the bottom is actually going to straighten out on that line. So it won't get tangled up while it's in the water, at least. Yes, and whenever I get to a hook, I keep on wrapping. I find a hook. I poke the hook right into the foam. Keep on wrapping, keep on wrapping, keep on wrapping. I got one more, and I'm starting to bleed. Bloopers, that'd be a good idea. Make some bloopers video. Yeah, and then whenever I get down to the sinker, I take the sinker, I wrap it over there, and I lay it down, and most of the time it will not move if that sinker wraps up on there. Oh yeah, the next rig. This rig is gonna be a carp rig. If I can find it. Alright, you guys give me just about. Oh wait, never mind, I found it. This is a carp rig. Well, it's a rig for carp, not specifically called the carp rig. But a lot of people know this. A lot of people in Virginia know this rig because Virginia has some big carp, surprisingly. Even though, fun fact, carp are invasive. But you have yourself about a foot long leader with 10-pound braid. Yes, I use 10-pound braid for 20-pound carp. It's a thrill to see your line start twisting, unwinding while you got a carp on there. But you got your Kirby hook on here, right? And you keep that tag in on there. But with the tag in, you double it over on itself, you wrap it up, and you have this little itty bitty loop on the end of it. As a matter of fact, I'll open that loop up for y'all right now. Take that, open that up like that. So you got yourself a loop right there. What you do with this, you take your hook, straighten out, you take the barb, or you take a boilie, is what most people use for carp fishing. A boilie or pieces of corn. I use a lot of corn on these. But you put them on the hook, and then you take that straightened out hook, you put the barb right on. I wish I had a already bent out hook to show you all this. I might have one in here. Let me get a second. Okay, I couldn't find the bent out hook, but I did find a regular hook. So let's say this was bent out. You take it, you snap it right onto that barb. See how it's straightened out? And you push your corn right over that barb. Stick it on here. Once you've got that done, you take you a stick or a piece of grass and lay it up in there and pull the corn up or your boilie up, whichever one you're using, just slightly to where it's nudging up against that piece of grass, and that piece of grass will stop the boilie or piece of corn from falling off. Yeah, that's a hair rig. I'm not sure if I said it or not. I'm not sure if I said the name. It's cheap and easy rig to make. Catfishing Carp. He lives same area I do. But he makes these rigs, and I learned most of my carp fishing and a little bit of my catfishing, just a little bit of my catfishing stuff from him. But definitely learned most of my carp fishing from him. On to the next rig. Okay, now we're moving up for our bigger game fish. This is a single line Alabama rig. They're harder to find in Walmarts and stuff like that. You actually have to go online. But your most common Alabama rigs, like, I have one in here. Let me show y'all. Right here. See how there's 5 wires on it? They're all stiff and hard. It's to make it look like a big school fish. Well, none of the baits are actually pushed up onto the barb, but it's made it look like a big school fish. Well, the single wire it just makes it look like it only has one hook, spinner blade. Used to have a dual spinner blade on it, but I broke it, so now it's just down to a single spinner blade. It has this piece of lead on the front of it that looks like a fish's head. And with this, you take yourself a swim bait. I should have one out. I always have one out. This one, I cut the head off of them. Don't judge me. I cut the head off of them because I like it whenever the head lines up perfectly with the body. Unlike what I just did. Dear Lord, I am everywhere right now. Right there. This should line up better. But, just like that. And whenever you cast it out there, it'll line up perfectly. And it'll look like it just looked like a straightened out spinnerbait. But yeah, that's just a single line Alabama rig. Simple, easy rig to make. I'm probably just going to show you all a handful of these random rigs I have in here. This is an underspin. By the way, they stopped making these. I wish they'd make more. They're so fun to use. They look like a tadpole from the top, but top and bottom, but whenever it's from the side, it just looks like a normal minnow. And it has that paddle tail on it, and it kicks so much, the whole bait will actually move like this, it causing this to kick even more. But, belly weighted. It pops in and out, it slides around on the top of it. You can see right there, matter of fact, I'll actually unscrew it just a little bit to show y'all. That's what you call screw lock right there on the nose of the bait. You keep on screwing it up and up and up until it's on there. And most of the time, the action will improve, and it also helps stop your bait from getting all sorts of weeds on there, just like a regular EWG hook would. Yeah, that's just a simple, easy rig. Let's see here. This is an oldie but a goodie. A grub with a regular jig head. Really old, simple combination. But it's caught me some big bass. I've caught 2-3 pound bass on just a little curly tail. And yes, I did take a Sharpie to this as well, like the line. Except this one I use an orange Sharpie, so it would actually taint. No, that's not the right word. Paint it orange because the lure used to be pink, or paint it red because the lure used to be pink. Now it's white for some reason, but it still kept the tail red, so it's really nice. A nice little touch. Spider grub jig. Spider grub because it has spider-like tentacles, which just looks like a regular jig, and it has the curly tails, the dual curly tails. And then a massive, like if you compare this to the hook's tiny and will bend with no problem. With this massive lead jig head. Ooh, excuse me, I had a burp. Whew. Single tail fluke. This is the Flicker Minnow, something like that, by 1,000 Fish, 10,000 Fish, some brand like that. I think it's Mr. Tackle Box own it. This is your common ice jig, but I did that to it. Took that and super glued that on there. It's really good for crappie for some reason. I take this and it'll flutter down like this, and the crappie, you'll just see a big silver flash come up and grab it. Because the pond fish only has white crappie in it. Like every occasion you'll catch a black crappie, but mainly white crappie, and you'll just see that huge silver flash come up and grab it. We also have it's not a species on its own. It's actually adaptation, but they'll have a black line from here all the way up, and whenever looked down on it, the black line casts a weird shadow over top of it, completely disappearing the fish. So, like, their predators, like a crane or any kind of bird or anything like that, will not see them. And I find it really unique. I just really like it. Believe it or not, I've caught crappie on this massive fluke-like bait. I think it was RoboWorm that made this. I'm not sure, but I use it on a drop shot. Or I just nose rig it like this is right now, and it's really good. You catch a lot of largemouth on it. By the way, the only reason I use my teeth on that because it was 2-pound line. I think that's most of the rigs I have right now. Give me a minute. I'll get out my Texas rig box, see if I have any special rigs in there. Okay, the only special rig I could find in there was this right here. This is, I believe this is made by Berkley as well, but it has a jig head and a belly weight. It's so odd because I'll show you exactly what I put on it. A lot of people think I'm weird for putting this specific combo on here, but I put a tube on there, any kind of tube, or if I have any punching baits like this, anything you use to punch through grass. By the way, this is like one of those rigs you can only use the lure on it one time. After it breaks off, that's done. You're done for that lure forever. You can't even retire it to become a crappie lure or a crappie lure, however you guys pronounce it. So punch it right through there. Yeah, just like that. It looks like a crawdad on the bottom whenever you jig it. Actually, I like this little combo right here. Don't use it very often. I have that, and I have something incredibly funny as well. I caught my PB channel catfish not too long ago, and he swallowed the hooks, and of course I ate catfish. But this hook right here was inside of him. The acid in his stomach had already started to corrode away at the metal. As soon as I pulled it out there, it's just like, oh, I was about 2 seconds away from losing my PB catfish. Anyway, that's just the fun little part. Anyways, I think that's about all the rigs for now, y'all. Yeah, I believe so. So, that's Rigs with Bob the Gamer, and Bob the Gamer out.